At the end of last year, law firm Meredith Connell successfully moved to its new premises in Harding Street, Auckland. I first met Meredith Connell in 2014 when they were living in Shortland Street, and fair to say, far from ideal premises. But this set them on the journey to their new home over on Victoria Street in 2016, which transformed the business immediately with a far more open plan and collaborative workspace. The success of that project led to the growth of their premises requirements, hence the move only a few years later to Harding Street, which was successfully delivered at the end of last year. It's an extraordinary example of the modern workplace, both in the context of sustainability, well-being and technology, but also in the context of creating an environment that's fit for professional services so that they can do what they do and do it well. So what have we learned from this journey with Meredith Connell? I think the first is an obvious example of brilliant leadership. Managing partner Steve Hazard and Chief Executive Kylie Mooney have surrounded themselves with like-minded people to drive this project forward, and have always had a very clear vision, and that has been measured by the success of this new project. I think the second component is understanding timing. There's never enough time, so the earlier that these journeys can start, the better. It always takes time to identify the right solution, and then of course delivering fit-out projects is always time-consuming. We also need to understand options in the market. They're not always obvious, and so this is where good advice comes into the mix. Understanding your premises options, whether it's stay or go, is a critical part of the formula. Then selecting a project team that's aligned with your vision. I think that's been another key part of this MC project. Surround themselves with good consultants after a thoroughly engaging procurement process to make sure that everybody was fully aligned. And finally, of course, get great commercial advice, which is where 22 came into it. So we've been delighted to have been part of this journey. We first started talking about commercial options all the way through to supporting the project team. We've always had a role to play, and it's been a real pleasure. So if you get a chance, please check out the MC website to see some great images and this backstory about how they've created a template for the modern workplace.